Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Weigel.
Hello everyone. My first piece today is entitled Curiosity Finds a Frown. Have you ever dealt with those toxic people in life who just, like to shoot down any interesting ideas you have? I know I have that in my life, and I don't know why people like to shoot down enthusiasm. It's not very productive in my mind, but this song is dedicated to people who like to shoot enthusiasm down. Sits me detained, languishing over. I reach always too far, but never far enough. I put ignored when I love optimism more than you. My smile, always in vain, mirrored through your face, showing you what they was, without a trace of hate, only a glare. And before you turn away, I give a prompt, hoping your mind will dance, though you are always swamped, and you won't take a chance to be enthusiastic about life. With me, why have you interest in things? Why not accept that we're bored, you say? You turn away as unemotional as a half-forgotten song. Like a ship at sea, my heart sank, knowing that your sense of fun was bleak. Many years later, I acquired a new voice, giving me choice of finally finding yourself. I reach always too far, but never far enough. I put myself out just to be ignored when I love optimism more than you. More so than you. When I first met you, I couldn't see clearly, and that was exciting. It was a time where we enjoyed life. Then we found out our ideas of adventure were contradictory. I changed for you, and I wouldn't have changed for me. chance to be enthusiastic about life with me. When I look at nature, I see so many lovely things. The singing of birds, biodiversities. Nature is the last remaining thing we haven't ruined, and I weep for what I think will be the last stage of history, where we'll even get to see it. Nature is the last remaining thing that we can kill, and I weep for the innocent death of billions of animals and people too. When I stand in nature, I relish the solitude. I hope it won't rot because of our mistakes. It can be prevented, and I don't want to watch us pass away, and I don't want to watch us pass away, and want to watch us pass away, and I don't want to watch us pass away.
The pond cycle is a cycle that occurs in ponds, specifically dealing with the algae that covers the pond. Algae is a nutrient for fish and other critters that live in the pond, and it is interesting because it grows until it eventually covers the surface of the pond. The problem is that once it totally covers the surface, the critters below the water suffer, and the algae have nowhere left to expand. And so at this point, you'll see a massive die-off of the algae. Eventually, it's dead and it sinks, but it starts over. The algae that survived starts to grow all over again, and the cycle begins anew. If you look at the average large pond, there will be some number of days or months even when the pond is naturally completely covered with algae. For example, let's imagine a pond where the cycle is 30 days. One observes that it takes 30 days from the time the algae starts to grow until it's finally covering the entire lake, at which point the whole thing dies. And the other thing that you observe is that the amount of algae present one day will double by the next day. So if it is doubling every day, then you can ask yourself this question. If this pond cycle is 30 days, how much algae will be there on the 29th day? Well, since you know that the algae is going to double every day, and you also know that it's completely covered after 30 days, then that means that on the 29th day, it has to be half covered, because the next day it will double and thus be fully covered. So you might realize that the problem with this is that while it took 29 days to get half of the pond covered, it only took 1 day for the remaining half of the pond to be completely covered. So things really start becoming a problem. The algae have to die so that eventually the cycle starts over. So to recap, 29 days to get to the first half and 1 day to get to the second half. This is basically the kind of inherent problem we see with any observed exponential growth. We might not know what the limits of a particular system are before it's too late. We will hit a 29th day at some point, at which point we will only have 1 day to do anything about it.
And I don't want to watch us pass away. And I don't want to watch us pass away.
Another thank you to Stephen Weigel, please, and Amy Pickering.